100 Studios, The Big Biz Show, our affiliates, and our hosts are not registered investment advisors or broker-dealers.
Our show hosts make no commitment that the purchase of securities or companies profiled or otherwise mentioned in our programming are suitable or advisable for any person, or that an investment in such securities will be profitable in general.
Given the nature of the company's profile and the lack of an active trading market for their securities, investing is highly speculative and carries a high degree of risk.
We profile selected publicly traded and privately held companies on our program.
Most of these companies that we profile have provided compensation to Lawful 100 Studios and its host for profile coverage.
From time to time, we sell shares of the companies profiled in the open market that we receive as compensation for coverage of client companies, but never sell stock if we're speaking about, interviewing, or covering a public company who has paid compensation.
Specific questions and compensation can be obtained by contacting producer at sullyentgroup.com.
Listeners should verify all claims and conduct their own due diligence before investing in securities mentioned on this program. Investing in securities is speculative and carries a high degree of risk.
That's the heart of San Diego.
We encourage our investors to invest carefully and read the investor information available at the website on the Securities and Exchange Commission's SEC at www.sec.gov and or the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority, FINRA, at www.finra.org.
Welcome to the Big Biz Show. You want fast-talking, hard-hitting discussions on business and finance? Maybe with a barroom slant and some really salty peanuts? We're not counting calories. We're counting cash. Before we get to the man with the financial plan, meet the money team. Costa, Mary, now Captain Finance himself, Sully.
If you're watching, wherever you're listening, we welcome you to another episode of The Big Biz Show. We're coming to you live from the Loft 100 Studios here in sunny Southern California, San Diego. You were thinking Costa and Sully with you to get this whole thing on the way.
Mary's out there. By the way, that's our new disclaimer. Very good job by the team, as well as, and that's Curtis Matovich.
Yes.
This is original music in the background.
I love it.
And apparently they got their next one already figured out.
Do they really?
Oh, yeah, because apparently you guys literally visited all those spots in San Diego. So they could do literally every single city and not have to leave the studio to do that. Let's go to New York City, where Howie Font, our lead analyst, is scurrying along the snow-covered streets trying to get back to his studio. Howie, you are so stuck for 2 days in the snow. You're stuck in Connecticut. Couldn't get out of Connecticut. Couldn't get into New York City. Are you guys everybody safe and sound now? Has it?
It's
a balmy 40.
Global warming kicked in. We have a little bit of sun and a little bit of melt. But it was just that effect of the cloud cover kept the ice on the railroad tracks, and everything kind of froze up for a few days.
Yeah, you realize there in about 2 weeks you're going to be sitting in sweltering 80-degree heat with 100% humidity, right?
I hope so. Hopefully that means in Florida or California.
FIRE stands for Financial Independence, Retire Early. Have you heard of that before?
No, first one.
Talk about that. It's kind of a lifestyle movement, and it's something that is starting to take hold.
Yeah, it's been around, and it flares up in waves. A lot of people talked about this during COVID, but I thought it was worth talking about it now because it does have kind of this community, this grassroots community that stays firm and evangelizes it. And basically, the whole concept is you hunker down for a few years and you accumulate a number, and then you live off that. I mean, you just race basically to standard retirement, and then you don't have to work anymore. So I'll let you opine, but basically the process is you pick what wage you want to live at in retirement, you multiply that number by 25, and then you're allowed to pull like 3.5%, 4% from that every year for your salary.
Because it's still, because the money, you don't take the money out when you retire and spread it on the kitchen table and look at it. It's still growing for you. So basically, if you take that amount out, you're still, let's assume a super conservative 8% or 7% annual return, and let's say an optimistic return of maybe 11%. You're still making money on your money while you're taking it out.
Yep.
I personally went the last check I write to bounce. But leaving anything for the kids, that's not accurate. But can I ask you this, Howie? If you go back to COVID, we had more money in the bank, chiefly because of stimulus. We had lower credit card debt, and our credit scores went up. What have we learned since COVID? Nothing, because now we have less money.
It's human impulse, right? We had nothing to do but save, and there was a lot more risk. But as soon as the risk comes off and our salaries are stable again, then we can drop that mentality and kind of live as we want to. The thing about FIRE is it's really hard and it sucks. You're not going to have fun on
well, especially and let's talk about retiring early. Retiring early is like 40, 45 years old is what they're talking about, okay? First of all, I retired at 45 years old and couldn't last more than literally 6 weeks.
No.
I mean, I'm not going to retire. It's going to go like here and then just like Russ did, God rest his soul, in this studio. It'll be, my last words will be actually while I'm working. The problem is, if you want to have your money last 50 years, right, you have to start thinking in those terms, right, Howie?
Yeah, I mean, I think they have it right on the general principle of you need to be saving, and then when you do have a pile that you're going to draw from, you draw a percentage, not a set number, because otherwise it's not going to be sustainable and your last check will bounce. But what is it's fine if FIRE people say, I want to get to this number so that I don't have to work, so that I can do what I want. Once I have that number, I can go work a job that maybe doesn't pay as well because I know I have this baseline of support. But what's not good is saying, like you were saying, retire, I'm going to sit on a beach at 45. You're going to go crazy. That's half your life, if you're lucky, it's less than half your life.
And by the way, and if you have the means to travel and do whatever you want, you're not worried about taking out 4% per year anyway. No, we're talking about people with a median income of say $65,000 a year for a family of 4. And then it drops down to a family of 2, so it's probably $50,000 a year at that point.
But Howie, is that, when you say hucker down, is that like going to the store and buying a can that says beer on it?
Yeah. Or you're plain wrapping it.
Or a loaf of bread that just says bread?
Yeah, I think you probably don't eat meat for a few years.
No, it's spam. Spam's still cheap. Mike's good for. Where's your yard of beef?
Oh, it's
Mike's good for yard of beef Slim Jim.
Beef byproducts, as they say.
Yeah, you can do spam.
Well, leaving Mike's beef byproduct alone, the FIRE followers, they usually try to save at least 50, maybe even like 75% after tax. I mean, which to me is insane. And the crazy thing that I'll ask you guys to react to is the long-term view just isn't there for Gen Z. CNBC did a survey, and they said that the average age that Gen Z wants to retire at is 54.
You know what, Howie? I want to talk about this again because I want to hear what the critics say about this. This is really, this is good stuff. And the good news is, if you just don't retire, be a Walmart.
Not a problem.
Right.
Howie Font, big Biz Show market analyst. Howie, stay warm. And then, of course, in a week, stay cool as well. All right, keep it right here. There's a lot more to come on the Big Biz Show today. Don't go anywhere. We're back right after this.